Welcome to the 14th of February 2023. My name is Jimmy Bradbury. I help people create online businesses around their passion, their skill set, their hobbies, and turn it into an online business where they make money, impacting people's lives, and giving themselves more time and financial freedom than ever they could imagine. And that's something that, for me, over the last 5 years, I'm testament to it. But not only me, I've now coached over 100 people in how it is that you can take your knowledge and experience and be able to turn it into an online business. Today, I want to share with you, if you're launching an online course, here's some suggestions. And, you know, the hundreds that I've been through in my own business as well, it comes down to a few things. Probably comes down to one key thing. If you want to launch a successful online business, you need to do the preparation. And I know that's common sense for a lot of people, but it's not always common practice. And I want to share with you some ideas today where people get stuck and how I can help them get beyond that stuckness. So at the moment, I've got two students, two clients who are launching their very first online course within the next 2 weeks. Next week, I'm launching I think it's my seventh online course. I've been doing this now for 5 years, as I said, but really in the last maybe 3.5, 4 years, have I really got that momentum. The first year was really, really difficult trying to work it all out. But in the last 4 years, I've launched now, I think 5 online courses. Then in the first year I did 2 and they just bombed. But in the last 4 years, I've launched 5 online courses, just about to launch my 5th. That comes out next week. So I got some perspective on how to launch an online course and how not to launch an online course. And whether you're launching an online course through a webinar model, through social media, through a 3-day challenge, you see this all of the time now on social media. Whichever way you're launching a course, in whatever way, it'll always come down to the planning. And back in the early 2000s, and he's still fantastic. A guy called Jeff Walker formulated a particular process, which he turned into product launch formula and the launch model. And essentially, it's 3 steps to launch an online course. Number 1, that pre-launch, where you're telling people about what it is you do and the course that you're putting together and how it can help people. So you're kind of he used the term shot across the bow, where you're actually putting the message out there, but it just in a kind of a curious way so people become interested in it. Then you have that pre-launch phase, which is just like the week before you actually launch, where, you know, that hype is being, is kind of upped. You know, you'll see this with movies. You'll see it with records being produced. I see, you know, one of my favorite bands, U2, they're releasing on the 17th of March, surprise, St. Patrick's Day. They're launching a new album. It's really just a remake of their old stuff, but they're beginning to really hype it up now. And you'll see it over the next 3 and 4 weeks, where they're putting more content out there on social media. They're talking more about their songs. They're talking more about their concerts and so on and so forth. This is something that's been around for a long, long time. So you're raising people's hype up towards an event that's going to happen. And then there's a launch period. Those 3 phases are absolutely important that you get them right. And that's what I do in helping people create online businesses. Well, that's a part of it. But a lot of people get stuck, and they get stuck back in that creation phase. They're creating and they're refining and they're trying to get better. It's always just that kind of creation. And what's happening is subconsciously we're getting stuck, because if we're going to start marketing and selling what we do, then it's kind of uncomfortable for a lot of people. And we're not wired to get outside our comfort zone. And it's only when you get that support and you get that help and you get that mentoring, you get that coaching from somebody who's been through there before, then I believe it comes a lot easier. And I had, 2 calls today, and those 2 separate calls with students who are at the same stage, just about to launch. It's just helping them with that little extra step to get to that point where they're getting closer to the launch, and moving them away from that procrastination or perfectionism of that creating and moving towards that launch. Because when you launch, then you're impacting other people. Then you're getting your program and course out to help other people. But when you're creating, you're just in it yourself and you're just thinking about yourself. That's why you're trying to refine. That's why you're trying to perfect. And I've learned this, I've been lucky here in Australia. I've, got to know a lot of the Olympic swimmers. And they always say there's no such thing as perfection. They're always trying to get their personal best. They're always trying to shave that 100th of a second off their best. And it's the same with us in anything that we do. And particularly when you're launching an online course, you just got to move away from that perfectionism. Like if you were here in my studio today, here in Australia, if you were to look down at the floor here, it's just an absolute mess. But what I'm doing is I'm saying, I'd love to perfect a lot more stuff, but no, I've got to get my launch out next week. And I've just got to say, that can be for version 2.0. There'll always be a next version that you will create, but the important thing is get the thing out that you've already been creating. And that's what I think is so important. If you're launching an online course or an online program, it's all about the preparation. It's all about the planning. It's about moving from creation to marketing to selling and doing that in a really quick way. Hopefully that's been helpful for you. If you need to know anything more about me, on my website, jimmybradbury.com. Tomorrow, I'll be putting the link here for you joining or registering for my launch next week for my online course, which I'll talk about more tomorrow. And I'll put that link in here tomorrow. But in the meantime, if you want to know more about me on my website, jimmybradbury.com, JIMMIBradbury.com, you'll find out lots more about me there. Wherever you are in the world, have a great day. And again, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you are well and safe, and I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Bye.